So here the problem is to solve. The first thing here, as you can see, you recognize that fractions and also the denominators happens to be polynomials. Okay, so when equation contain fractions with, you could say, poly denominator, step number one, factor the denominator. Okay, and find the LCD and wipe out the denominator. And of course, only deal with the numerator. Okay. So the first thing here I'm going to do is this is over 1. And this I'm going to factor. So here we got this is what we got. Now, as you know, that that we have to now find the LCD. So the LCD here will be 3x plus 4. So that means he has to have 3x here. He needs everything. 3x, x plus 4, 3x, x plus 4. So therefore, well, he doesn't really need anything because he himself is the LCD. So the third last then, well, you know, once we find the LCD, we're going to wipe out the entire denominator, but write the numerator. So here we got 12 equals 2 3x minus 1 3x. And we just have to figure out this one. We just have to solve for x. Well, you know, this will be 6x. I'll just do step by step. And we know we're going to do that one more, which is and of course, you want to empty or so here we got 6x squared. Well, I know that will be 21x minus 12. You could do it quite a few different ways. You could factor out by 3 first. And of course, you could now solve factor. So here will be and of course that has to be equal to 0 or that has to be equal to 0. Okay, here we use trinomial. Okay, meaning you break up -4, you break up 2x squared. Make sure the product of the cross multiplication got to be the sum has to be the 7x, which happens to be positive 7x. Okay. Okay. Now let's do number 17. So I'll do number 17. I mean 16. So here the idea radical is, here's a quick idea. Let me just give you the quick idea. The idea here is when you see something like this and we need to simplify, then what we need to do is make sure whoever has exponent square, they have to come out. Okay, well, so the leftover inside of that radical is going to be 2, and that will be the end. Okay, now the challenge here is, so here's another one. What if we have 5x3y? Well, first of all, I know x cubed is really xxx, such that we could rewrite as x squared times xy. So as you could see, x squared comes out. Everyone else has to stay the same. Okay, so understanding that part.
Daddy.
Shh.
Daddy.
So understanding. Let's take a look at 16. So here the first thing I will do is figure out 54. How do we break up 54? Well, I'm going to use the prime factorization. 2 to 17, 3, 9, 3, 3. So here we're going to rewrite with 2 times 3 times 3 squared. And now obviously x cubed is really xxx, so I could say x squared times x. Same thing as y8, yy. How many y's do we have? As you could see, 8 of them. And I can make a group of 2, and there are 4 of them. So here I'm going to say y. And I have another y. And lastly, we have z to the 8th power. That means how many z's we have? We have 8. That means, well, we just did it. Z squared, like that. So at the end, who's coming out? 3 is coming out. X squared is coming out. Okay, I get that. How many y square going to come out? How many z square going to come out? And left over, done. Okay. So that was 16. Okay. 17 we're going to do. So I'll do it on the same page here. 17. Here we're going to do okay. X to the 7th power, you already know. You can make a group of 2, and there are 3 groups. Oops. And z to the 11, you know we have 11 z's, and out of 11 z's we can make a group of 2. 5 of them. Okay. So I could go on, well, I'll put it underneath. So at the end, 5xxx coming out, which is 5x to the 3rd power. And they're coming out. So the leftover here will be 2x z. Okay. So that was number 17. Now I'm going to do number 18 now. Same way, but except now we have to deal with fractions, as you could see, right? Make sure I'll follow the order of operations. So every item inside of the parentheses will receive the exponent 1/2. Okay. Okay. I could multiply these two, obviously. That will give me -1. And I could, well, I cannot cancel. I canceled it here, of course. So here will be like that. I'm going to put back. And of course, from this point, I'm going to put these together. I'm going to put the other together. And when you operate it, at the end we're going to get -1/3 here, -37/10. Since they both are negatives, as you can see, and we cannot use negative exponent, we have to put it in fraction. Okay, so that's the answer. Let's do 19. Same way. So I'm going to do here I did the second parentheses. Okay. So next one. This one, obviously, 0. When y to the 0 power will be 1. So at the end we're going to have, this is 1. That's the answer. Okay. Okay. we have to find the x-intercepts by using the completing the square. So I'm not. So how do we do completing the square? I'm going to change the problem here so that it's a bit easier in your end. I'm going to make this -7 as, I'm just going to say -6. Okay, so I'm going to say change to -6. Okay, so now the new problem here is, I'm going to write it on top. The new problem here is y equals to x squared minus 6x minus 2. Let's just deal with this one. Okay. X-intercept simply means set y equals to 0 and solve for x. Okay, so we have y equals to this, and y, we're going to set it to 0. And now we're going to use a completing the square. How do we apply or know, how do we do the completing the square? All we have to do is the following. Take the middle guy, the number, -6, and you always have to divide it by 2, which is going to get you -3. We call it inner number. And then we're going to square the -3. 9. And we call it outer number. So using those two, we're going to say 0 equals, we're going to first use the outer number, plus 9 minus 9. In other words, you add 9 minus and take away 9s, and you got to put back the -2. Now, if you factor the first 3 terms, you'll be able to factor, in fact, the inner number happens to be the inside of the parentheses. From there, we're going to swing -11 to the other side. So 11 equals, and then square both sides. But when you do, you have to make sure put plus minus. And of course, last thing, -3 has to be on the other side. That's the x-intercept. Okay. Very important technique. Okay. All right, the last one. 21. If you know how to do 20, 21 should be a piece of cake. 21. So radical 2x minus 3 equals to 5. All you have to do here is iso radical. So you want to first swing -3 to the other side. And you're going to square both sides. And divide it by 2. Done. So 21 is relatively simple, as you can see. Okay. Okay.